What up?
Today. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me okay? Joining inauguration speech already in progress.
Please call to the podium a longtime friend of the president-elect and his family, Father Leo O'Donovan.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Please stand if you are able and remain standing for
go.
the national anthem and the pledge to our flag.
Okay. All right. Okay. How's the sound? Help me out, somebody, anybody. I see y'all. So sometimes with this setup, like it echoes a little bit. So how's the sound?
Gracious and merciful God,
Sounds good. Okay.
Time we come before you in need. Indeed, on our knees.
Very good. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Keith. What's up, guys? We finally made it. We made it after 4 years. 4 years. We're good. Like, you know, no. Well, okay. Let me back way the hell up here. We ain't good, but we're better than we were.
We are a people of many races.
This is like the start of where we can actually maybe, instead of just pushing more shit on the pile to make it work, to make it stay up, we can maybe actually start fixing some things. I know this is great and all real quick, but I figure figure you guys might want to hear a couple of the Q theories that are going on right now.
Would assist with your Holy Spirit of counsel
some
and fortitude,
of my faves
President
right
of
now.
These United States, that his administration may be conducted in righteousness and be eminently useful to your people. Today we
basically they think
to live according to our vision of equality,
basically they think it's a military takeover
and freedom for all.
This is one popular theory. Trump is not stepping down, not the way that you think. He is allowing a smooth transition of power, not to Biden, but to the military. This is exactly what he means: transition into martial law. As predicted, General Flynn will be taking the reins here for a while. You don't hear during POTUS's speech anything about Biden or conceding. This is part of the. I don't know what those words are. As he steps down from the U.S. corporation dead entity into the new administration, 1776 Constitution Party, all leaders will be removed. Party will be created worldwide. You have to understand that POTUS is a genius. Well, I don't know. Jury's out on that one, man. We are witnessing the best show on earth. This has always been part of the plan.
With malice
it goes on a little more, but you get the basic idea.
For our new president, we beg of you the wisdom Solomon sought.
Is Trump still wearing Biden's face as a mask? I didn't really see that theory too much, but I saw a couple people talking about it. Like, it wasn't really popular. Like, usually when I bring you guys like a Q theory, it's usually like the more popular ones. I did see that one on the boards, but I did not see it talked about a lot. I'm actually more curious to see what the Q boards do today as opposed to the inauguration.
How important it is to dream.
But we'll get back to this in a second. That was one of the ones I shared today. Well, last night actually. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter.
Things that are not there.
But
dreams, on the other hand,
this was one of the ones they were going with. The plan was enacted over the weekend, only you never saw it. Biden had his cabinet and tons of both Dem and Republican senators and other officials were arrested. Proof of their vast crimes was shown. They were court-martialed and found guilty. However, it was decided that this was too much for the American people to accept, overturning the election and showing the crimes of all these politicians could lead to civil war. So an agreement was reached, and Biden and the deep state elements will all be allowed to move freely and serve their terms President Trump would concede and leave office, but this is all for appearances. Behind the scenes, Donald J. Trump is still president. The plan is known as Shadow Prez. Was seen as a last resort, but it worked. Anything that happens the next 4 years is actually President Trump's doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the presentation
That's
of
that
our
high,
national colors.
that's
by
that
the
high,
Armed Forces Color Guard,
high dollar
the singing
Coke.
of our
You know what I
national
mean?
anthem, and for the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's that super high dollar Coke. All right, I guess we gotta. The setup's a little different today because I was supposed to have a guest. Tori was supposed to join me, but then she had to work last minute. Because I legit didn't plan to stream, and like until you guys kind of talked me into it last night. But might as well stream some, some history. Why not? Even though everybody and their mother is streaming. Oh, I forgot to go live on TikTok.
Ladies and gentlemen, here for the singing of our national anthem, accompanied by the President's own United States Marine Band, please welcome Lady Gaga.
Can you guys hear the screen okay now? The actual video? Yeah, Gaga looking fly. Paul always coming through with the like and share, man. I really appreciate you, dude. Thanks a lot. Always coming through telling people to like and share. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. You guys hear the TV okay? Sounds good? Okay. Got the gold microphone.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare.
She can sing. Like a lot of pop singers, it's all auto-tune, but she can actually sing. The craziest part is that Mike Pence showed up to this instead of his little going away party. There's a little bass behind that one, little happiness and joy. Like, thank God this guy's gone. Yeah, and like somebody on NBC was talking earlier, like Mike Pence was Trump's #1 soldier throughout the whole thing. He was his guy. No matter any time Mike Pence had a speech, he always talked, so great about Trump, congratulatory, praising him at every turn in any speech. and
Ladies and
the
gentlemen,
very last
please
thing he
welcome from the
does
city
is
of
snub
South
him
Fulton,
on his
Georgia
way
Fire and
out,
Rescue Department,
which is
President of
what
the
was always going to
International
happen.
Association of Firefighters,
Good to
Local
see you here, the
3920,
user with no
Fire
name.
Captain Andrea M. Hall for the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
Did you guys
one
see that the
nation, under
the
God,
officer that stopped them from breaking into the Senate
indivisible,
floor, he got to
with
be part of the
liberty
inauguration
and
today.
justice
Thought that was pretty
for
cool.
all.
So if the Q people have it right, in about an hour, we're gonna start seeing mass arrests. Oh,
To be part of
there's my senator.
America is a
Or one of 'em.
historic moment of firsts.
cloud boot jar.
To administer the oath to our first African American, our first Asian American, and our first
Oh, that bald
woman
guy in
vice
Georgia's based. I
president,
like him.
Kamala Harris. It is my great privilege to welcome to the inaugural stage the first
Eugene,
Latina
yep.
to ever serve on the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
Sotomayor.
Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the oath of office, followed by musical honors.
Guys, the link to my Twitch and YouTube is in the bio. I know you can't hear it if you're on TikTok,
Please
so
raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear
I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
is that her husband? I don't think I've ever seen Kamala's husband. When I think about it. That was pretty quick, short and sweet. Salty. Super salty right there. Just know somewhere there's a group of Trumps like, God, Dad, why couldn't you win? Now we're gonna go to jail, Dad. Thanks a lot. God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Doug. Yep, that's right.
Please welcome Jennifer Lopez to perform This Land Is Your Land and America
Oh,
the
snap.
Beautiful, accompanied by members of the President's own United States Marine Band.
They're really pissing off the QAnon people with this. All these deep state elites, all these adrenochrome sippers out here at this inauguration. They're getting real salty right about now. Jenny from the Cabal block. Yeah. Oh, that one's got to go up. That's a winner.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking down that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Oh, this land, oh, this land. This land was made for you and me. Oh, this land, oh, this land. This land was made for you and me. You and me. Oh, America.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't. You know what? The only reason he didn't pardon any of his kids is because he's going through the impeachment trial, and they could use that against him. Like if he would have, if he would have pardoned his kids and stuff, if he would have gone that far with it, they would have used that against him during the impeachment trial. Otherwise, I think he would have done it. I'll be back when J-Lo stops singing. Fair enough, I didn't. Is Shakira coming out now? little little remix of it. I like it. All right.
This land was made for you and me.
I don't remember musical performances being a part of inaugurations, or do I just? I feel like there was so much doom and gloom around the last one. Oh, George Soros is there. He's wearing a different face. You just don't know it.
Well, that was great. The sun is shining.
Amy
and
Klobuchar's like
Mr.
the
President-elect,
usher
this
or
is
the
the first
host.
inauguration in the history of America where J-Lo was the warm-up act for Chief Justice Roberts. With that,
That's
it
such a
is
Minnesota
now
mom
my
joke. Oh my
distinct
God.
honor to introduce the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, John Roberts, to administer the presidential oath to the next president of the
just
United
about there.
States, Joseph R. Biden.
Chief Justice Roberts, who, according to Lynn Wood, adopted a bunch of babies so he could get into the deep state cabal.
Musical honors.
Oh damn, they're already the whole squad. I think one of Biden's kids is on TikTok, or grandkids, isn't he?
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
Office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
All right, now you better enact some lefty policies or I'm gonna be pissed. Don't think this is it, man, old man. But anyway, we made it, folks. Inaugurated officially. 10 minutes early, ahead of schedule. Hunter looks so... Have you seen all the Q madness this morning? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Eventually, once after he gives his speech, we'll go over some of it because it's pretty good, and it's only gonna get worse throughout the day. Like, we're gonna have some meltdowns today. But just my advice: if you have a Q friend or family member, today is a day to be gentle with them, and maybe you can talk them off the ledge. It's just my advice. You don't have to take it. That's what I would do if I was y'all. Because you might be able to win them back today. Because there is some division within the group. Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Speech! I'm guessing he's going to mostly talk about unity and... Or is there like a song first? Where's my wife? IDK, but Conway's daughter is, and her stuff is scathing against her mom. Yeah, we looked over that a little bit last night, but I don't know. I guess I just wasn't really paying attention. But I looked over it a little bit more after I got off stream, and holy crap, that's some scary. It was some scary stuff. Her mom's definitely psycho. Definitely like sociopathic. There's actually been some talk of Trump being deep state today on the Q boards. There's a little bit of pushback about how it was all how Q is a psyop organized by the left. You know what I mean? Like, there's a little bit of that going on today. See, like just now, YouTube sent me the notification that I was live.
My fellow Americans.
Okay.
A moment we have all been waiting for. It is now my great privilege and high honor to be the first person to officially introduce the 46th President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden, Jr.
Golf clap. Morning, Shannon. Just in time. All you guys that are on TikTok, the link to my YouTube and Twitch is in my bio. That way you can hear it. We're watching the inaugural. Biden's about to give his inaugural speech. Is Bernie there? Yeah, Bernie's here.
President Harris.
So, you know, go to the link in my bio, and then you can actually see what we're.
Leader Schumer. Leader McConnell.
Yeah. All right, let's
Vice President
listen.
Pence. And my distinguished guests, my fellow Americans. This is America's day. This is democracy's day, a day of history and hope, of renewal and resolve. Through a crucible for the ages, America has been tested anew, and America has risen to the challenge. Today, we celebrate the triumph not of a candidate, but of a cause, the cause of democracy. The people, the will of the people, has been heard, and the will of the people has been heeded. We've learned again that democracy is precious. Democracy is fragile. And at this hour, my friends, democracy has prevailed.
Barely.
So now, on this hallowed ground where just a few days ago, violence sought to shake the Capitol's very foundation, we come together as one nation, under God, indivisible, to carry out the peaceful transfer of power as we have for more than 2 centuries. As we look ahead in our uniquely American way, restless, bold, optimistic, and set our sights on the nation we know we can be and we must be. I thank my predecessors of both parties for their presence here today. I thank them from the bottom of my heart. And I know the resilience of our Constitution and the strength of our nation, as does President Carter, who I spoke with last night, who cannot be with us today, but whom we salute for his lifetime in service.
How old is Carter? 90?
I've just taken the sacred oath each of those patriots have taken. The oath first sworn by George Washington. But the American story depends not on any one of us, not on some of us, but on all of us, on we, the people, who seek a more perfect union. This is a great nation. We are good people. And over the centuries, through storm and strife, in peace and in war, we've come so far, but we still have far to go. We'll press forward with speed and urgency, for we have much to do in this winter of peril and significant possibilities. Much to repair, much to restore, much to heal, much to build, and much to gain. Few people in our nation's history have been more challenged or found a time more challenging or difficult than the time we're in now. Once-in-a-century virus that silently stalks the country. It's taken as many lives in 1 year as America lost in all of World War II. Millions of jobs have been lost. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed. A cry for racial justice, some 400 years in the making, moves us. The dream of justice for all will be deferred no longer. A cry for survival comes from the planet itself, a cry that can't be any more desperate or any more clear. And now, a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism, that we must confront and we will defeat. To overcome these challenges, to restore the soul and secure the future of America, requires so much more than words. It requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy: unity. Unity. In another January, on New Year's Day in 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. When he put pen to paper, the president said, and I quote, "If my name ever goes down into history, it'll be for this act, and my whole soul is in it." My whole soul is in it. Today, on this January day, my whole soul is in this. Bringing America together, uniting our people, uniting our nation. And I ask every American to join me in this cause. Uniting to fight the foes we face: anger,
all the cabal
resentment,
members in
hatred,
attendance,
extremism, lawlessness, violence, disease, joblessness, and hopelessness. With unity, we can do great things, important things. We can right wrongs. We can put people to work in good jobs. We can teach our children in safe schools. We can overcome the deadly virus. We can reward work and rebuild the middle class and make health care secure for all. We can deliver racial justice, and we can make America once again the leading force for good in the world. I know speaking of unity can sound to some like a foolish fantasy these days. I know the forces that divide us are deep and they are real. But I also know they are not new. Our history has been a constant struggle between the American ideal that we're all created equal and the harsh, ugly reality that racism, nativism, fear, demonization have long torn us apart. The battle is perennial, and victory is never assured. Through Civil War, the Great Depression, World War, 9/11, through struggle, sacrifice, and setbacks, our better angels have always prevailed. In each of these moments, enough of us Enough of us have come together to carry all of us forward. And we can do that now. History, faith, and reason show the way of unity. We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors. We can treat each other with dignity and respect. We can join forces, stop the shouting, and lower the temperature. For without unity, there is no peace, only bitterness and fury. No progress, only exhausting outrage. No nation, only a state of chaos. This is our historic moment of crisis and challenge, and unity is the path forward. And we must meet this moment as the United States of America. If we do that, I guarantee you we will not fail. We have never, ever, ever, ever failed in America when we've acted together. And so today, at this time, in this place, let's start afresh, all of us. Let's begin to listen to one another again, hear one another, see one another, show respect to one another. Politics doesn't have to be a raging fire, destroying everything in its path. Every disagreement doesn't have to be a cause for total war. And we must reject the culture in which facts themselves are manipulated and even manufactured. My fellow Americans, we have to be different than this. America has to be better than this. And I believe America is so much better than this. Just look around. Here we stand in the shadow of the Capitol Dome, as was mentioned earlier, completed amid the Civil War, when the Union itself was literally hanging in the balance. Yet we endured. We prevailed. Here we stand, looking out on the great mall where Dr. King spoke of his dream. Here we stand where 108 years ago, at another inaugural, thousands of protesters tried to block brave women marching for the right to vote. And today, we mark the swearing in of the first woman in American history elected to national office, Vice President Kamala Harris. Don't tell me things can't change. Here we stand across the Potomac from Arlington Cemetery, where heroes who gave the last full measure of devotion rest in eternal peace. And here we stand, just days after a riotous mob thought they could use violence to silence the will of the people, to stop the work of our democracy, to drive us from this sacred ground. It did not happen. It will never happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Not ever. To all those who supported our campaign, I'm humbled by the faith you've placed in us. To all those who did not support us, let me say this. Hear me out as we move forward. Take a measure of me and my heart. And if you still disagree, so be it. That's democracy. That's America. The right to dissent peaceably within the guardrails of our republic is perhaps this nation's greatest strength. Yet hear me clearly. Disagreement must not lead to disunion. And I pledge this to you. I will be a president for all Americans. All Americans.
Very heavy on the unity. That's kind of what I figured.
For those who did not support me, as for those who did. Many centuries ago, St. Augustine, a saint of my church, wrote that a people was a multitude defined by the common objects of their love. Defined by the common objects of their love. What are the common objects we as Americans love that define us as Americans? I think we know. Opportunity, security, liberty, dignity, respect, honor, and yes, the truth. Recent weeks and months have taught us a painful lesson. There is truth and there are lies. Lies told for power and for profit. And each of us has a duty and a responsibility as citizens, as Americans, and especially as leaders. Leaders who have pledged to honor our Constitution and protect our nation, to defend the truth and defeat the lies. Look, I understand that many of my fellow Americans view the future with fear and trepidation. I understand they worry about their jobs. I understand, like my dad, they lay in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, can I keep my health care? Can I pay my mortgage? Thinking about their families, about what comes next. I promise you, I get it. But the answer is not to turn inward, to retreat into competing factions, distrusting those who don't look like you, or worship the way you do, or don't get their news from the same sources you do. We must end this uncivil war that pits red against blue, rural versus urban, conservative versus liberal. We can do this if we open our souls instead of hardening our hearts, if we show a little tolerance and humility, and if we're willing to stand in the other person's shoes, as my mom would say, just for a moment, stand in their shoes. Because here's the thing about life. There's no accounting for what fate will deal you. Some days, when you need a hand. There are other days when we're called to lend a hand. That's how it has to be. That's what we do for one another. And if we are this way, our country will be stronger, more prosperous, more ready for the future. And we can still disagree. My fellow Americans, in the work ahead of us, we're going to need each other. We need all our strength to persevere through this dark winter. We're entering what may be the toughest and deadliest period of the virus. We must set aside politics and finally face this pandemic as one nation. One nation. And I promise you this, as the Bible says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. We will get through this together. Together. Look, folks, all my colleagues I serve with in the House and the Senate up here, we all understand the world is watching all of us today. So here's my message to those beyond our borders. America has been tested, and we've come out stronger for it. We will repair our alliances and engage with the world once again, not to meet yesterday's challenges, but today's and tomorrow's challenges. And we'll lead not merely by the example of our power, but by the power of our example. We'll be a strong and trusted partner for peace, progress, and security. Look, you all know we've been through so much in this nation.
Bernie.
In my first act as president, I'd like to ask you to join me in a moment of silent prayer. Remember all of those who we lost in this past year to the pandemic. Those 400,000 fellow Americans, moms, dads, husbands, wives, sons, daughters, friends, neighbors, and co-workers. We'll honor them.
History will not remember Trump fondly for that
we can and
ridiculousness.
So I ask you, let's say a silent prayer for those who've lost their lives and those left behind, and for our country.
A lot less doom and gloom than Trump's speech. 4 years ago.
Amen. Folks, this is a time of testing. We face an attack on our democracy and on truth, a raging virus, growing inequity, the sting of systemic racism, a climate in crisis, America's role in the world. Any one of these would be enough to challenge us in profound ways. But the fact is, we face them all at once, presenting this nation with one of the gravest responsibilities we've had. Now we're going to be tested. Are we going to step up, all of us? It's time for boldness, for there's so much to do. And this is certain. I promise you, we will be judged, you and I, by how we resolve these cascading crises of our era. We will rise to the occasion is the question. Will we master this rare and difficult hour? Will we meet our obligations and pass along a new and better world to our children? I believe we must. I'm sure you do as well. I believe we will. And when we do, we'll write the next great chapter in the history of the United States of America, the American story. A story that might sound something like a song that means a lot to me. It's called American Anthem. There's one verse that stands out, at least for me.
Thought he was going to break out in a jingle there for a minute.
The work and prayers of century have brought us to this day. What shall be our legacy? What will our children say? Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, America, I gave my best to you. Let's us add our own work and prayers to the unfolding story of our great nation. If we do this, then when our days are through, our children and our children's children will say of us, they gave their best, they did their duty, they healed a broken land. My fellow Americans, I close the day where I began, with the sacred oath. Before God and all of you, I give you my word. I will always level with you. I will defend the Constitution. I'll defend our democracy. I'll defend America. And I'll give all of you, keep everything I do in your service, thinking not of power, but of possibilities, not of personal interest, but the public good. And together, we shall write an American story of hope, not fear, of unity, not division, of light, not darkness, a story of decency and dignity, love and healing, greatness and goodness. May this be the story that guides us, the story that inspires us, and the story that tells ages yet to come that we answered the call of history. We met the moment. Democracy and hope, truth and justice did not die on our watch but thrived. That America secured liberty at home and stood once again as a beacon to the world. That is what we owe our forebears, one another, and generation to follow. So, with purpose and resolve, we turn to those tasks of our time, sustained by faith, driven by conviction, and devoted to one another and the country we love with all our hearts. May God bless America, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, America.
All right, so what do y'all think? What do you rate that speech? Obviously, we knew he was going to go heavy on the unity message. You know, going to mention the insurrection stuff.
Joseph Robinette.
Yeah, I think overall, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it's standard issue politician speech. But yeah, not bad. I mean, it gave me a little hope. Now we just gotta hope that he will actually come through with what he says.
Saying it is time for Americans to come together
in common cause.
He says we must end this uncivil
10 out of
war.
30.
He noted that democracy has prevailed, noting the
So you have an
attack
odd
on the Capitol 2
scoring
weeks ago.
system
He
there,
says
Keith.
There's been an attack on democracy and the truth.
What's going on now? Who the hell is it? Is this Garth Brooks?
Garth Brooks now will perform.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't. There's a 6 out of. Yeah, that's about where I would put it. About 6.5, 7 out of 10. I'm not. Well, fuck, I can't turn it down for myself.
Amazing grace.
FYI, not Ted Cruz. Garth Brooks is a really weird dude. I don't know if you've ever watched the Your Mom's House podcast, but he is an extremely weird dude. Anyway, should we? I'm assuming you guys aren't really the cabal got Garth Brooks. I'm assuming we'll come back to this. I'm assuming you guys don't really care about Garth Brooks singing. Should we check in on the? Let's check in on the cue boards for a minute here. Hold on. Well, give me a second here. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's turn him off for now. But okay, so yeah, let's check in on the Q people, or at least we'll go with Twitter. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got. Just me, or did they rush the hell out of swearing Sleepy Joe in? Isn't it supposed to be at 11:59? Okay, so we got a little conspiratorial about the early start. God, I really. Oh, God damn it. See, I hate this set. I was supposed to have a guest today. That's why my setup is different. This setup sucks for like normal streaming. But okay. I think we're good now. Let me turn this guy off. Jesus. I don't know. Is here to bring you the news. We are not here to tell you what to believe, or here to believe. If you wish to leave, then stick around. Free speech patriots. This is the place to be. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Real people, some of whom were arrested at the Capitol 2 weeks ago, believed in a completely made-up social media-driven conspiracy for years. It was embraced by Trump's allies, and now they are coming to the realization it was a complete hoax. Let's see what we got here. Q was a LARP the entire effing time. There is no plan. It's over and nothing makes sense. Absolutely nothing. Okay, that ought to be good. It's over and nothing makes sense. Absolutely nothing. None of what anybody said or sung about or sung sounded like typical liberal shit at all. What? What does that even mean? None of what anybody said or sung sounded like typical liberal shit at all. I guess, man. Just me, or did they rush? Okay, that was one we already saw. Biden was just sworn in, but this was also just leaked. Probably something dumb. Oaths taking place. There is no plan. Just finished his oaths of falsehood. Q was a LARP the entire fucking time. It's like the stages of grief. The stages of Q grief right there. Travis had a good one from a guy. Oh yeah, this guy thinks Biden's deep state. Hold on. Is that? Oh, I got it. God damn it. Oh, I hate this setup. There we go.
What's up, guys? I want to say that I think that us Patriots got... What's up, guys? I want to say that I think that us Patriots got played, as bad as I hate to say it.
True.
I think that everything that we've seen over the past couple of years about deep state and our leaders and what they do behind closed doors, and I think all of that's true. And I think they did it to, one, divide us, and two, for us to hold the idea that a plan was in the making and coming together. I think that it was always trust the plan, don't do anything. And then by the time we figured out,
it's called a grift, sir.
Like now, day before Inauguration Day, it's too late. Democrat mayors and governors are the ones who sit in the National Guardian. Trump authorized it. I think Trump's a part of the deep state now. Because now that we've realized it's too late for anything to happen, we can't get through 25,000 National Guardsmen to do anything about it. What's up, guys? I want to say that I think that us Patriots got played.
It's got to be tough coming to the realization that everything you've thought has just been completely and absolutely dead wrong. Let's see. See what saying they want it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Fuck this sham. I'm good. I want to puke. Fuck. Praying. Welcome to the final season of America. He sold us out. It's revolution time. Trump lied and failed us. Simple as that. See? Like this is by far, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cope going on. There's some serious cope going on. But this is like the closest I've seen to like people realizing it's a grift. Like actually coming to the realization that we got grifted. You know what I mean? Yeah, Trump's totally deep state. You didn't know? By the way, while you guys are here, if you could like the stream, I'd really, really appreciate it. You can support the stream with the description in the thing. And all you guys on TikTok, the link is in my bio to come over here. And there was much. Okay, let's see what we got here. We've been had. It's over. This is a joke. No way. This is our future. It's literally mocking us on purpose. I believe it's set up now more than it. I believe it's a setup more now than I did yesterday, seeing it live. Anyone watching Chinese news? What? I wonder if they're celebrating the Biden win. I mean, guess. Just saw this. Some hope maybe. Link. Few more days is horseshit considering the National Popcorn Day and all the hype leading up to this. I mean, I get it. Military action timetables are fluid and not always on your schedule, but the leading needs to stop. Anyway, you can see the massive amounts of cope going on. What's going on now? Somebody speaking. Hello again. Da, 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 da.
March back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free.
Who is this?
We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation.
Where were those comments from? Mostly Telegram.
Burdens, but one thing
That's
is
where all the
certain.
Q people hang out now, is on Telegram.
If we merge mercy with might,
Stole the South from
and
whom?
might
Democrats, state
with
support.
right,
Yeah.
then love becomes our legacy.
They'll find a new
and
figurehead. Someone will fill in
our
the vacuum for you.
children's birthright.
Yeah. I mean,
So let us
they're not done
leave
with Trump.
behind
They're
a
just.
country better than the one we were left
They're not
with.
mad.
Every
They're
breath
just
from my
upset. You know what I
bronze-pounded
mean?
Chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will
Let's see
rise
what's
from the
going on
gold-limbed
currently
hills
on
of the
Telegram.
west. We will rise from the
Jesus.
wind-swept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every
All right,
known
poetry's.
nook
I
of our
mean,
nation, in every
sounds
corner.
great. Let's check out. I don't know what Telegram is talking about something about the FBI changed the white. I don't. It looks interesting. Let me get the share screen back up. Or hold on. There we go. Like, I have no idea how many more steps there is with this. It's ridiculous. Bam. Basically says, what does it say? White House Facebook page just changed to Trump White House. It had to be this way for now. Did Biden win? Please, please, God, say he didn't win. Nope, he was caught in a sting operation. This is like the current. Don't worry, they're unable to leave D.C. LOL. Okay, so now what? So what now? They're going to force him to stay in D.C. and be president for 4 years? Was Garth Brooks one? Yes. The irony of some people in this chat saying Q is fake. I don't understand why. I don't really understand how Telegram works. But you only, I don't know, you have to click on it or something, or if that's like okay, it's a reply. The irony of some people in the chat saying Q is fake. If you don't know what's about to go down, then stop freaking or leave and cool your head. Use your brain. Do you really think that Prez Trump or our military would allow this to stand? Watch it play out. Enjoy the show. As you can see, the cope is what does it say? Have faith in God. Joe, oh goddamn. Kuehl is a troll. There's some people that come in here and troll people. Why are these people talking? They never did that. Now I'm getting mad. Is this what Trump wants us to get mad? Be confident in the plan. There is no plan. They're being strung along. It's a matrix of lies. Let's see what this guy's got for us. Oh, you can't even. But yeah, that's what's going down with that. Let's go back to the what's about to go down. Well, nothing in reality. In Q-land, everything. So they think the White House, basically they think the White House Facebook page accidentally changed back to Trump, so they think something is going down. It's basically the gist of it, what it looks like anyway.
We will care for our most vulnerable, our children, the elderly, emotionally challenged, and the poor. We will seek rehabilitation beyond correction. We will extend opportunity to those locked out of opportunity. We will make friends of our enemies. We will make friends of our enemies. People, your people, shall no longer raise up weapons against one another. We will rather use our resources for the national good and become a beacon of life and goodwill to the world. And neither shall we learn hatred anymore. We will lie down.
All right, I don't. And if it doesn't happen today, we will have to wait until tomorrow or the day after that. Basically, let me take these headphones off. It's ridiculous. All right. Let's go back to the keyboards. Yeah, I mean now the inauguration fireworks might be over, but the Q fireworks are just beginning. Let's see what's going down. What else is going down? Biden is now president of the United States. One user in a QAnon Telegram. Is this the one? Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. Channel. One user in a Telegram channel says QAnon was a deep state psyop all along, while a major QAnon was always a deep state psyop. See, that's the thing they're going with. We're open, deep breaths. We'll get through anything together. And then weird meme. QAnon's basically a series of quotes followed by weird memes. How the People Trumped Ronald Plump. I don't know. I've never heard of this book, but I want to read it. This is the this is one of the biggest Q guys. Joe M, I believe his name is. If Trump loses, then Q failed. Since this is not possible, there's no way Trump can lose. That was in November. It's a bad crime to attempt to cheat an election. It is a worse crime to actually cheat in an election, and it's a worse crime of all to steal an election. Certifying fraudulent results to get the finish line. Maximum penalties are now on the table. We've caught them all. Buckle up. That was like a couple minutes ago. Like they actually think that they're you know gonna round them all up and get them into Gitmo. Any minute now. Any minute now, we're gonna get the word. Let's see what else is going on. President Trump has already won. Okay, well, that's cool. Oh, Cassandra Fairbanks. She's something else. Oh yeah. This is some coming to the realization moment. What did we even get? No wall. DACA still exists. He hired tons of neocons and got people who otherwise opposed him to cheerlead them. Julian is still in prison. Was it even worth it? I'm so black-pilled. I promise to be more pleasant tomorrow. I'm really sad and venting. I just caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror and clearly looked like someone punched me in both eyes. Let me should we check out the martial law hashtag? See what on TikTok? See how that's going? Pull up one here. What's going on here? Well, it looks like I got some action going on with the inauguration. Let's go back to that.
The president is looking to turn the page, saying we must end this uncivil war. And on the steps of the Capitol and with allusions to Abraham Lincoln, that is not a throwaway line, especially when you think about what happened 2 weeks ago when there was an
I did a really short one on TikTok, but yeah, I'll probably go more. Well, you know, we can. That's what I was going to do. We'll go over those in a second. How about that?
And democracy has prevailed. He clearly feels that above all,
you guys hear it okay, by the way?
Is the business and the mission of this presidency.
You were so right, Savannah. And he's saying something, you know, at all these inaugurations, every new president lauds democracy and the peaceful transfer of power so much that we take it for granted. President Biden, 2 weeks after the attack on the Capitol and the Congress of January 6th, is speaking to us at a moment in which we have just had a very close call. Under a few scenarios, we might have lost our democracy. What might we be talking today? And at the same time, he recognizes that he has to deal with more crises at once than almost any president.
Yeah, let's talk about. Let's talk about. That's what I thanks for. Thanks, Melancholy, because I wanted to actually talk about that. I get jarred on what I want to talk about sometimes. Let's talk about. Let's talk about the pardons, and then let's talk about Biden's first 100 days, what we can expect and what we can call him on. By the way, you guys on TikTok, links are in the bio to Twitch and YouTube. Anybody that's here, if you could like the stream, I'd really appreciate it. Links to everything in the description. But yeah, Trump's pardons. Which one is it? It's the Forbes one. Okay. Basically, he pardoned a bunch of criminals with a lot of money. And a couple of rappers, because, you got to keep the kids happy. This is what we got. President Donald... Hold on, let me get a drink real quick. Ah, fuck. Okay. President Donald Trump offered a final wave of pardons and commutations to 143 people early Wednesday morning, a list that includes former campaign staff chief Steve Bannon, who, remember, scammed people out of millions of dollars for the We Build the Wall thing. But the good thing about Bannon is Trump can only pardon him for federal crimes. Bannon's charges can be picked up by the state. And because it was across multiple states can pick up the charges. It's a very easy process. A guy was explaining to me, or not to me, but on TV last night, how a state can pick up Bannon's charges. Several political operatives and rappers like Lil Wayne. Despite weeks of speculation, Trump did not pardon himself or anybody directly involved in the riots in the U.S. Capitol. And again, the only reason I think Trump did not pardon himself or his family members or, Jared, I guess Jared's a family member, or hell, even the Capitol rioters, is because he's going through the impeachment trial. So if he doesn't get convicted, if nothing else gets out of if we get nothing else out of the second impeachment, I think we got that at least. Even though I think it's 50-50 right now that he could get convicted. If Mitch McConnell comes out and says that he's going to vote to convict him, I don't think he's going to do that unless he knows he has the votes. Mitch knows if you go at the king, you got to kill the king. He's a smart political operator. He's a piece of shit, but he's a smart political operator. And a former White House strategist and Trump campaign CEO Steve Bannon was pardoned on Wednesday, 5 months after the far-right political operative and one-time head of Breitbart News was charged with defrauding donors to a border wall building fundraiser. Elliot Broidy, a former Trump 2016 fundraiser who's been accused of lobbying the Trump administration on behalf of foreign governments, earned a full pardon after he pled guilty last year for failing to register as a foreign agent. He did a bunch of other shady shit, too. Paul Erickson, a Republican lawyer and former boyfriend of convicted Russian agent Marina Butina, I remember her, was pardoned after pleading guilty to wire fraud, a charge unrelated to Butina in 2019. In a statement, the White House claimed that Erickson's conviction stemmed from the Russia collusion hoax. Well, they got this guy dead to rights. I don't know if you guys remember Maria Butina and that was like 2017 when we were still kind of in the real world and like the scandals weren't completely off the wall. It was just like a little espionage and corruption, not full on insurrection type stuff. Insisting a pardon helps right the wrongs of what had been revealed to be perhaps the greatest witch hunt in American history. I don't know if I agree with that. Here we get into some juicy ones here. 3 former Republican members of Congress were pardoned. California Rep. Duke Cunningham, who was released from prison in 2013 after taking millions of dollars in bribes from defense contractors. Arizona Rep. Rick Renzi, who was convicted on corruption charges in 2013. And North Carolina Rep. Robin Hayes, who pled guilty last year to lying to the FBI as part of a larger corruption investigation. See, it's all just people in the establishment, GOP. He didn't pardon anybody worth a shit to pardon. Assange being on there, but I can understand if he didn't pardon him. Edward Snowden should have definitely gotten a pardon. Notorious former Detroit mayor Kwame Kilpatrick earned a commutation from Trump, lopping time off a 28-year sentence, which began in 2013, for allegedly orchestrating a massive racketeering bribe and extortion scheme while in office. Lil Wayne, who praised Trump in an October tweet, secured a full pardon for the gun charges he pled guilty to last month, saving him from up to 10 years in federal prison. He also pardoned Kodak Black. You know, he had to throw in a couple there. Like, Trump's smart. He knows if he throws in Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, like, the masses are gonna, you know, look at that, and that's what they're gonna worry about. And the rest of the people are, you know, the politically engaged people are gonna understand how horseshit this whole thing is. But, you know, you got to throw in Kodak Black, so the kids will be like, oh, look, you know. Anthony Lewandowski was given a full pardon, avoiding time behind bars after the former Google engineer at the heart of the lawsuit between Alphabet and Uber over IP theft pled guilty last year to stealing trade secrets and was handed an 18-month sentence. Shalom Wise earned a commutation, shortening the staggering 835 years. Jeez. He was headed to more than 2 decades ago, setting up an insurance fraud scheme. Former Trump lawyer Alton Dershowitz and Jay Sekulow backed clemency for Wise. Okay, a couple scumbags. Florida-based eye doctor Solomon Melgen secured a commutation for orchestrating a Medicare scheme fraud. Just a little Medicare scheme. Trump ultimately shied away from the more controversial pardons for his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The president also did not attempt to pardon himself, which would have been an unprecedented and legally untested move after several aides reportedly warned a self-pardon could make him look guilty of a crime. And despite some... How would that even work, though? Like, what... I don't... Like, what would he be... How can you pardon somebody for a crime they haven't been accused of yet? Like, nobody's accused Giuliani of a crime yet, as far as I know. So what does he you just get one get out of jail free card? Like, how does that work exactly? I guess I haven't really looked into what a preemptive pardon even looks like. But yeah, no, I think if we don't do the second impeachment, I really see this happening. Even the self pardon. I mean, you know, he don't give a shit. That's pretty much it. That's all the major ones. And he pretty much, you know, pardoned everybody. He basically pardoned anybody that was involved in the Russia thing. It's kind of like a screw you, and that's been over the years. Trump has offered fewer pardons and commutations than most other recent presidents. Well, yeah, most of them, like Obama did a lot of like drug offenders his last day, you know, like regular people. All Trump did was pardon elites. He pardoned crooked congressmen, a couple rappers, and, you know, just buddies, basically. Everybody was like extortion, corruption, a bunch of white-collar asshole crimes. Trump has offered fewer pardoning power in unconventional and controversial ways, often handing clemency to political allies and loyalists. Several members of his 2016 campaign, Trump have earned pardons in recent months, including, he's pardoned Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, George Papadopoulos, and former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Plus, Trump pardoned Charles Kushner, who the Charles Kushner case is quite interesting. Just Google it one time. It involves him paying for a hooker for his brother, and it is crazy stuff. But he's the last person to need him to pardon. And he also pardoned Joe Arpaio, and Duncan Hunter and Chris Collins. Yeah, all, you know, another entire group of jackasses, basically. Yeah, he didn't get... Yeah, Joe Exotic got nothing. Joe Exotic got squat diddly for... Let's see what's going on over here. But yeah, that was basically the pardons. Like that, what was the guy's name? Kwame Kilpatrick. That guy, yeah, he total scumbag. Like, I can't... I don't remember the... Yeah, he didn't no Bobby Shmurda. I don't even remember. Why is Bobby Shmurda in jail? I don't even remember. I just know. Isn't there like on some drug charges or something? It's not nothing bad, is it? Like, too bad? Like, I don't know if it was selling drugs or if he had drugs. But you know, Lil Wayne's playing 4D chess, trying to get that pardon. Although Lil Wayne, I don't know, he's come out and said some stuff against BLM and different stuff before, so he might be a Trump supporter. Actually, who knows? Uh-oh. Look who it is. It's evil incarnate.
Division and hate that we've seen for the past 4 years. It was passionate.
It's John
the line that
Podesta.
stuck with me was, my whole soul is in
Any
it,
QAnon person's losing their mind right now if they're watching NBC.
And Biden saying, my whole soul is in it, uniting the people. I think everyone watching it knew in his bones that that's what he meant. That's what he expected to convey. He talked about the 4 crises facing the country. And for Ron Klain, the incoming chief of staff, for his whole team, they know they have to get on top of
Ron
COVID.
Klain's
They
not
have
a
to
bad
deal
guy.
with the
He's kind of a
economic
solid
crisis,
dude.
the racial justice crisis, the
I mean, he wouldn't be my
climate
first pick for
crisis.
chief of
It's a
staff,
huge
but he's
task,
not a bad
but they've been
pick.
planning
He's all right.
for it. They've
You know what I
stayed
mean?
disciplined. They haven't been thrown off course, I think.
If you've ever seen the movie
particularly in the last couple of
Recount,
weeks.
the
And so I think they're ready to
HBO
get
movie,
into those
Ron Klain
offices
is the guy that
and
Kevin
begin to do
Spacey
the
plays.
work
Like
of the
he's the main
country.
character. He was the head of the
Andy, you
Recount
were,
effort,
literally in the
or one
ear
of the
of
heads of the
President
Recount
Bush
effort for Gore in
at the
2000.
time of 9/11. You knew a little something about an administration suddenly on emergency warfare.
So how do we feel, y'all?
This is a
Trump
little
is no longer
different
president.
In that President Biden knew what what the
I don't know if
country
it's
was
really
facing.
sunk
He's
in
had
yet.
time
Like
to
it,
now look at
like
the,
what happens tomorrow?
vaccination
Like Trump's
plan.
not. I mean,
Nonetheless, how does it change an administration to have
like what is gonna? What's the
almost a
headline
singular
tomorrow?
focus so that everything
Biden
ultimately
does
revolves
stuff.
around COVID?
You know,
Well, first of all, I do
Biden
think
does
that
regular
this is a time
things.
of history and hope.
More
and
at 10 or whatever.
Inauguration was a tribute to our democracy.
Like I'm not really. I don't
agree
know.
with what the president
It almost
said,
doesn't feel
and
like.
I loved how he said it. And yes, he
Doesn't
acknowledged
feel
that
like it
there was
actually
much
happened.
to repair, much to restore, and much to rebuild. And that's
I spent all my hype on November 5th.
I
True.
just want to pause because I want people to see what's happening
Yeah.
here. It's important. The Vice President Harris and her husband Doug Emhoff had
I
just
feel you.
escorted former Vice President Pence and Karen Pence down the east front steps
So-
of the Capitol. And Andy,
So we
I
have
mean,
our first second
to
man.
continue your thought.
Is that
This is a moment
the old
that
Doug
the
is the
country
second
needed
man?
to see its leaders of both political parties come together. The president,
Trump's such a
former
such a
President
itch
Trump
bay.
did not choose to
Not
attend,
even
but
showing
Vice
up.
President Pence's choice to come
Having
was
like
a
some
real
little
statement.
stupid.
How important do you think that
I have
was?
my own. I have my own
it's critically
inauguration
important, and I
party,
compliment
and it's
Vice
going to
President
be
Pence
terrific.
for being there, and I actually
Absolutely
celebrate
stupendous.
the role that he played in the last 10 days. And
Anyway, okay, so we'll come back to that. Really hate this setup. So let's. Where's it at? Which one is it? Biden 100-day agenda. There we go. So what can we expect from Mr. Biden the first 100-day? Not a bad Trump impression. Thank you. I actually like. I don't know. I have a habit of like people like. I like sometimes I'll do celebrities, but like people I meet, I have a tendency to like after a couple conversations, I'll like pick up on like their cues and way of speaking and like imitate them. Sometimes it's like I don't know, it's like a thing. I also have a decent Mickey Mouse. What the fuck? There it is. Okay. So, no, wrong tab. There it is. Okay, so Biden's plans, ambitious 100-day agenda. Well, we know the 1.9 trillion economic relief. God, it's still crazy to believe that is the number. 400,000 Americans dead from COVID. Remember when they were praising the 200,000 number? Like, oh, that's what everybody said. And we were like, hey, man, we're not done with COVID. You know that, right? Like, we're still in the middle of COVID. 200,000 people later, you don't hear those comparisons anymore. Like, just the, like, out of all the stuff that Trump did wrong, like the denial and just the put it in a corner and act like it doesn't exist, like the childlike behavior he handled COVID with will definitely be the most memorable thing. That and the attack on the Capitol, obviously. Those are what he's going to be remembered for the most, I think. And of course, man, woman, person, camera, TV, or whatever. Can't forget that one. But those are the things that he's going to go down in history for. The proposal announced. Okay, that's just talking about that. So we know the very first thing is this $2 billion or $2 trillion stimulus package, which is going to include. Where's the. I basically know what it includes. 300 billion. Some 18 million. Yeah. Right now we got 18 million. Some 18 million Americans are still relying on unemployment insurance. Some 400,000 small businesses have permanently closed their doors, and it's not hard to see we are in the middle of a once in a several generational economic crisis with a once in a several generation public health crisis, Biden said. A crisis of deep human suffering is in plain sight, and there is no time to waste. We have to act now. We have to act, and we have to act now. But in a forecast of the high winds facing Biden's Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio promptly tweeted a likely line of resistance. President-elect Biden has served in the Senate for 35 years, so he knows the plan he outlined tonight can't quickly pass. Why? Why can't help for the American people pass quickly? Help for Wall Street passed really quickly and with unanimous consent. There was no pushback at all. Y'all pass that shit real quick. Five endless amounts of money from the Fed to Wall Street, pass it overnight. $1,400 checks to American people. Well, wow. Which, slow down, Skipper. We can't be doing good stuff. Anyway. Okay, here's the largest element of the proposal is by far the approximately $1 trillion in direct payments. Other measures are meant to support struggling individuals and families. It would add $1,400 in immediate payments to the $600 checks. So it's not like, it's $2,000 total. So you got the $600 that they already passed. So basically, Biden wants to add $1,400 onto that. And this is the very first thing. This is the stimulus package. I'm not sure how it works to add in the $15 minimum wage, because, like it says here, would increase and lengthen the duration on unemployment benefits. Other elements of the plan would raise the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour, protect renters from eviction, that's a big one, and provide increased food aid to the needy. Biden also calls for a $440 billion in direct aid to small businesses. Should be a little more, but it's a good start. And state and local tribal governments that have seen tax revenues plummet during the economic downturn caused by the pandemic. Finally, a proposal would dedicate $400 billion to a greatly increased federal response to the pandemic. Biden envisions a national vaccination program, expansion of diagnostic virus testing, and support for schools and healthcare workers. Can I impersonate Mickey talking about the China virus? Maybe in a minute. Let me work up to that. The internet's forever, man. I'm back. What did you miss, Shannon? The cabal took over. Biden is now facing a military tribunal, and the deep state is gone and been eradicated. And JFK Jr. came back. So yeah, you missed a lot, Shannon. Don't ask me for a source because I don't have one. But just check Twitter. It's on there. Anyway, this is a little bit of foreign policy. It goes over a little bit of everything. This is first 100 days. Having spent much of his 36-year career in the Senate, serving out the chamber Foreign Relations Committee, Biden has promised to repair relations with allies and other countries alienated by the Trump administration, isolationist, America First agenda. He also vows to convene an international summit focused on combating corruption and militant nationalism. Voting rights. Democrats have long been eager to pass an expansionist to the Voting Rights Act aimed at reducing the ability of states and localities to hamper or restrict the abilities of citizens to vote in elections, and Biden is expected to push for those reforms. Let's see what he's got for criminal justice. Responding to public outrage over a rash of police killings of unarmed African American men, Biden has promised to establish a National Police Oversight Commission. Okay. And invest in community policing strategies meant to help de-escalate tensions between law enforcement and the communities they serve. He also backs comprehensive sentencing reform and programs to reduce continued criminality by those released from jail. And let's see what he's got for taxes. Biden hopes to repeal a huge corporate tax cut passed by the Trump years, which cut the business rate from 35% to 21%, and to raise income taxes on the wealthiest Americans. He has promised that taxes on people earning less than $400,000 will not rise. And fighting the Trump narrative, Mahaffey? I don't know. Okay. Of the Center for the Study of the President and Congress said Biden should be able to count on at least one cooperation from Congress in the early days of administration. The consensus in Congress is even with the 50-50 Senate in that action does not need to be taken on the economies. I think I missed part of it there because that. Anyway, yeah. Green technology. Biden has promised to jumpstart long-stalled efforts to overhaul the country's crumbling infrastructure. Yes. Like, see, this is the kind of stuff, like, if Biden does, I don't know, any of this, pick two. If he does two of these things, especially within the first 100 days, he'll have a 75% approval rating. Like, infrastructure, like, you know, I've been screaming for a long time. We need a $2 billion infrastructure package, at least. You know, it's going to create a lot of jobs. We have an infrastructure rating of D+. America, the shining, city on a hill or whatever we were supposed to be, the beacon of democracy, the greatest country in the land. Is 37th in healthcare and has infrastructure of D+. So we need to do some work. But yeah, if Biden can enact, hold on here, trying to do two things at once is really hard. But if Biden can, no, I don't like that one. But if Biden can enact a big infrastructure package, and let's just say healthcare, on top of the stimulus needs to come first. People are hurting, people are dying. His vaccine rollout is much, much better too. His goal is 100 million vaccines in 100 days. Now that's a pretty lofty goal, but I mean, if you can pull it off, because at the current rate we're going, we'll be vaccinated and we'll be going outside in like 2024. So by about the next presidency is when, at the current time, will be rolled out and ready to go by the next presidency. And I'm not waiting that long to go to a concert. I'm just not doing it. But if we can get the vaccine under control, if we can get a decent rollout of our decent stimulus package put together, like what we outlined, what he talked about in that, infrastructure creates a lot of jobs. A lot of people are hurting. A lot of people need jobs, especially, jobs like those are decent paying jobs. And then, get the ball rolling on healthcare reform, because the economy if we can get the vaccine under control, the economy is going to come roaring back. Like that's what Wall Street is banking on right now. That's why you see the market go up and up every single day, because they weathered the storm. They made out like bandits, really. Wall Street knows that they can't lose, basically. At this point, like the big hedge funds, they just gamble and gamble and gamble now, because now they know both parties got their back. If they fail, they get bailed out. So they pretty much just trade with reckless abandon. And, but then if you pair that on top of booming economy, the market will be great. And Trump will be slinking it along somewhere in a golf course that's probably about to get repoed. I'm supposed to be getting the vaccine in VA in 2 weeks. My sister's supposed to get it soon. She's a nurse though. I mean, I haven't really heard like a timeline as far as like when like normal folks will be getting it up here. And how the trying to I'm trying to raise an alarm about Q and how this right wing cult stuff is only going to get stronger, and it's not over. Oh, it's definitely not over. It's definitely not over. You'll have it. What you'll have today is you'll have a change in narratives a little bit, I think. Because yeah, I mean the current narrative obviously doesn't work anymore. But it, there's the Ides of March thing that's been a big talking point. The more fringe think that Biden is somehow still going to get arrested, like it's still going to happen any day now or something, or they think like the thing I showed you guys earlier that Biden actually already got arrested and that Trump is actually pulling the strings behind the scenes, and that the reason they're not arresting him is because it'll cause a civil war. The reason they're not doing it publicly anyway. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's so hard to pull people out of it, because they have so many built-in scenarios where they can't lose. Because, these people make money off of this. They're not going to just give up the grift. I mean, if you were getting thousands upon thousands of dollars off your YouTube views or your Patreon, not really YouTube anymore. I guess D Live is where they go. Some are on Twitch. But whatever, however they're getting their grifted with money, you're not just going to give that up. They'll figure out a new plan or, go with something. Anyway, let's see what they're talking about.
The president has his work cut out for him. So does the Congress, and they've got a bunch of things on their plates. Obviously, there's the impeachment, but there's also a COVID relief package, and there are the confirmation of the Biden cabinet to deal with.
Not to mention a massive immigration bill that President Biden now plans to send over in the next 24 hours, in his first 24 hours as president. So yeah, there's a lot.
How will it roar back? So many people are totally broke with rent and bills piled up. 1,400 isn't going to fix it. True. Now, there's a segment of the population that's in dire straits right now. But once we get a vaccine, and if we get, the checks out, and we get the stimulus rolling, and we have the solid unemployment, there is going to be a section of people that lose everything, have already lost everything. But once we get the vaccine out and people can actually go back to their normal lives, then we'll see a mass like influx of basic of capital back into the system, and that'll everybody will be back at work, things will be back to normal, they will be out there spending money, and it'll I don't know how do I put this, but yeah, no, what I mean, once you get everybody back out and doing their normal day-to-day things, that's kind of what we're pushing towards, I guess. I don't know, I'm not explaining it well. But they're talking about 2 vaccines needed for herd immunity. Well, there's a couple different ones. There's I think the Moderna one, it takes 2 vaccines. I think whatever one just came out, the Johnson & Johnson one, you only need to take 1. And I don't know what exactly Biden means, but I know that's the goal, is 100 million vaccines. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Biden plans to have 100 million vaccines in 100 days. Let's see. Let's read about it. Because honestly, that's gonna, like, the vaccine is kind of everything right now. Fuck these tabs. Oh, god damn it, it's the wrong one. I really should have just used my other setup. Okay. Bam. There we go. Biden's COVID challenge: 100 million vaccinations in the first 100 days, and won't be easy. It is the nature of the presidential candidates and new presidents to promise big things. Just months after his inauguration in 1961, President John F. Kennedy vowed to send a man to the moon by the end of the decade. That pledge was kept, but many others haven't been, such as Bill Clinton, blah, 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 blah. Okay, get to the plan. Not during a once-in-a-century pandemic. President Biden has promised to provide 100 million COVID vaccinations in his first 100 days. This team will help get up at least 100 million COVID vaccine shots into the arms of the American people in the first 100 days, Biden said during a December 8th news conference introducing key members of his health team. When first asked about his pledge, the Biden team said that the president-elect meant 50 million, but 50 million people would get that they're two. Okay, so yeah. So basically 50 million people vaccinated with the 2-dose thing would get their 2-dose regime. The incoming administration has since updated this plan. Oh, wait, hold on. Saying it will release vaccine doses as soon as they're available instead of holding back some of the supply. I did hear about that. Either way, Biden may run into difficulty meeting 100 million mark. I think it's an attainable goal. I think it's going to be extremely challenging, said Claire Hannon, executive director of the Association for Immunization Managers. While a pace of 1 million doses a day is somewhat an increase, is somewhat of an increase over what we're already doing, a much higher rate of vaccination will be necessary to stem the pandemic, said Larry Levitt, executive blah blah blah. But yeah, so that's basically the plan: is 100 million vaccinations in, so 50 million people, and then plus, I don't know how many we've done so far, but it's like, what is it, like 20 million or something? Is it even that many? I don't even think it's that many. I think it's like 10 million or something. But anyway, hopefully by the Dr. Fauci said he's looking for the fall. You know what I mean? Do you think companies, let's pop that up on screen. Do you think companies such as Walmart and Amazon and others will strongly encourage their employees to be vaccinated for penalties for not complying? Could be. Yeah, I mean, you would think. I mean, they're a private. I don't know if they can't make you get vaccinated, but I mean, I feel like they should definitely encourage it. Like I mean, you know what's scary is, God damn it, is my sister is a nurse. My little sister who's staying with me right now, she's a nurse, and when they signed up to get the COVID vaccine like 3 weeks ago, she told me that half of her staff, like the staff that works in the medical field, didn't want to take the vaccine. So that's going to be one of our next big issues, is people that can get the vaccine don't want to take it. So that, I think that needs to be part of Biden's strategy, is to roll out some serious, good information about the vaccine, because there's already a huge anti-vax movement on top of now it's a liberal anti-vax. It's no longer Trump's vaccination, even though literally Biden's been in office for 6 minutes. By the way, all the COVID deaths are now officially Biden's problem, and they will blame him every single day, all day, every day. Like, how quick the tables are going to turn for what's acceptable to the GOP is just going to be mind-blowing. For anybody that really didn't pay attention to politics during the Obama year. Like, they literally, Fox News ran headlines for 3 days when Obama wore a tan suit. You know what I mean? So that's, get ready for that. I'm sure it's already starting. Turn on your favorite liberal, your favorite Republican outlet, and they'll be talking Biden, socialist takeover of the White House, yada, yada, yada. Something like that. What the fuck? Okay, I didn't get a message. Anyway, okay, so, okay, should we check in on let's see what's new in the non-world. Bam. What's a good hashtag for are they already? What is this? Oh shit! I gotta put it on screen. I keep for doing. So like we got our first. Somebody just sent me this. Is this fake news? You think? God help us to allow males in girls' bathrooms day one. What? God help us, Biden to allow males in girls' bathrooms on day one. What? On the top of Joe Biden's position page on gay and transgender issues is a quote from Biden that's supposed to neatly express his guiding principles on the issue. Oh shit. God damn it. I hate this setup. Hold on. Who do you love? Or, hold on. God, fuck you. Who do you love? Who do you love? And who will be loyal to? The person you love. And that's why people are finding out and is what marriage is all about at their root. I don't know what the fuck that says. My guess is that the Biden campaign didn't choose this epigram from Biden because it was profound, eloquent, or bold on revealing it's from a May 6, 2012, just days before the President Obama announced what can charitably be called his evolution on the same-sex marriage. This is like weird. I'm not reading that. But I don't think this is true. I don't know. I don't even know, what does this even mean? Allow males? Does it mean transgender people? Like people that identify as women into what is their obsession with bathrooms? Like I've never ever in my life heard of a transgender person going into the bathroom of the gender they identify with to like steal your child or, commit some sexual act to, you know what I mean? Like they always hype this crazy scenario up that literally never happened. So I don't know what's going on there. Bam. Fox is the Hallmark network that's been radicalized. Fox isn't even a news network. It's an entertainment business now. True. I mean, isn't that kind of what it's always been? You know what I mean? Honestly, Fox is like middle of the road now. If you're on the right, like Fox is the damn liberal media. Okay, let's go back to my... Okay, we're on board there. Let's see what's going on here. How it started, how it's going. Let's see. Hashtag no AQ. 100% chance Biden does not get inaugurated on the 20th. Oh, okay, that passed. And that is why Biden never gets inaugurated. Biden was never going to be inaugurated and take control of our military, but you don't seem to realize that yet. Good luck reconciling tomorrow. Reconciling. Oh, shot in the gut. Shot in the gut. Let's see. Yes, QAnon groups are in despair right now. The Schadenfreude is hard to resist. But with Q and the Trumpist channels at a low ebb, further right, more cultic, or just straight extremist groups are seeing this as the greatest opportunity to boost their numbers. True, we talked about that last night on stream. Now the far right, like the far right violence people, like militias, neo-Nazis, like until recently, QAnon was pretty non-violent. It had some crazies that did some stuff, and it obviously had the potential for violence given what they believed. But now the more crazy people that always are asking for violence or preaching violence are rounding up the Q people and bringing them into their ranks. Chins up. We gave it our all. Now we need to keep our chins up and go back to our lives as best we are able. We have a new president sworn in, and it's our responsibility as citizens to respect the Constitution, regardless of whether or not we agree with the specifics or the details regarding the officials who were sworn in. As we entertain into the next administration, please remember all of the friends and happy memories we made together over the past few years. This is one of the bigger QAnon accounts, actually. Remember all those memories we made, guys, calling everybody pedophiles? Guys, remember the good times when we called everybody every name in the book. Remember the good times. Okay. All right, so yeah, what do y'all think? I don't know. We need sexy conspiracy theories on the far left side, like Chavez is still alive. And true, yeah. Our conspiracy theories are like Trump's a Russian plant or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they're not, and they're never cool. The coolest, the closest we got to like a decent conspiracy was the Steele dossier P-tape thing. Like we never get any good ones. Parlor takes. Oh yeah, it's a good idea. Parlor takes is good stuff. What's the other one? Magacope. These guys are probably killing it right now. Yeah, let's check those out. There's so many steps to this one. God almighty. Remind me to never use this setup again. Okay. Let me zoom it in here a little bit. Let's see. Liberty Hangout, of course, getting in the mix. God's church versus Satan's church. This was the biggest bullshit I've ever seen. Here we go. I'm done. This shit can't happen. I'm done. This shit can't happen to this world. Okay. We are all done. Sorry. Sorry.
He'll still be alive right now if you niggas ain't gas him up.
I'm probably gonna get a copyright claim now. Damn it. President Biden, look at that. But guys, he's only got 1 million followers. How can he be president if he's only got 1 million followers? Okay. It doesn't. God dang it. The wrong button. I mean, clearly you can't be president with only 1 million followers. You got to have at least, like, I don't know, 50 or something. 50 mil. 50 mil, min. Yeah, there is some bots in there. I was looking at it on here. Want to become famous? Buy followers. I'm good. Why would I want to do that? Oh, what's up, Gabby? What time zone are you in? Okay, where were we at? I'm trying to do like 6 things at once. Okay. What are your thoughts on President's speech so far? These aren't very good. Let's try parlor takes. You told us to storm the Capitol. Now we're being arrested and prosecuted. Help us. Okay. 5-dimensional chess. 5-dimensional chess. He's playing pocket pool with a limp cue and only 2 blue balls. True. A lot of us have made an ass out of ourselves believing in Q. We tried to get people ready for what was going on to happen, and nothing happened. Oh, geez. Is that... Oh, never mind. I don't want to see that. I mean, maybe. Joe Biden, JFK Jr. I mean, it's possible. Can't rule anything out. All good, man. Oh, 8 p.m. So, damn, you're like... what time is it here? Damn, it's like a 7-hour difference. Yeah, it'd be like 5. So I usually stream at like 5 in the morning your time. Yeah, I guess that's hard to make. Did you see the MLK march in New York ended up in a huge violent brawl because military police came in and started attacking the crowd because they would not disperse? No, I did not see that. I think I saw a video on something like that. But I didn't know what it was about. I saw people. Biden is not my president. I almost obviously I'm not going to, but I almost want to scroll through my personal Facebook feed right now just to see what all the crazy people from Florida that I know are saying, because I know it's pretty juicy. I lost my entire life savings betting on Trump. Everything I've saved since I was 18. I'm freaking out. Is there more to come? ? I'm scared. What did we do wrong? Well, everything. You did everything wrong. Well, not everything. A lot of things, though. Yeah, I was gonna make a video about that actually. The betting markets for Trump still being president. There was still a lot of money on Trump yesterday in the betting markets to be president. Like a lot of money. It's just kind of the same thing over and over again. Lampicum POTUS, Senator Kamala Harris at VP. FLOTUS. Okay, well, there's all the new Twitter accounts you need to follow, I guess. Suppose. I guess since Trump was still president, that BS was allowed to make me so pro-Trump. Show the semi-automatic weapons at the government buildings, but we can't march through our own. True. Well, there was a report that came out that showed that police use violence 3 times as much against left-wing protesters as they do right-wing. I made a video about it on TikTok. Police use violence 3 times as much against left-wing protesters as they do right-wing. Hold on. The Guardian. Police in America use violence 3 times as much against right-wing protesters. Or other way around, I meant. There we go. Pull up the thing again. Bam. I gotta go back to the thing and then bam. Okay. Yeah. I do not like this. Okay, there we go. I'm out of free articles. Oh, whatever. But, well, I linked the article in one of my videos. But yeah, basically they did a study of 13,000 protests over the year, and police were 3 times as likely to use violence against left-wing protests as they did right-wing. And it actually at protests that were considered completely peaceful, it actually went up. It was 3.5 times as much they used violence against left-wing protesters at completely peaceful protests as they did to right-wing protests. So that goes to show you, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, that's why they had to vet the military people. A lot more right-wing people go into, you know, military, police. That's one of the things militia people do is they use, you know, they get people in there so they have, you know, people in law enforcement on their own side. It's the tactic they've used for years. Check in on NBC.
And his remarks today, I thought, allowed all Americans to be together again under one roof in many ways, even if this pandemic, this COVID crisis.
What are you guys looking forward to in a Biden administration? What is
author and NBC News political contributor.
what is your
You've also been a
what is your number one thing?
What
would you consider? How would you consider it successful?
Another prominent conservative voice. And so let's talk about the future of the Republican Party. Hugh, I'll start with you. You have been a supporter of the president's, former president.
Hold on. Hey, any chance you'll do debunks on the final parts of the Fall of the Cabal or the Great Reset? I do I do want to finish the Fall of the Cabal series, but I don't know if you saw that YouTube started taking my videos down, and they gave me, I got a warning, which you only get one warning and then it's gone forever. And then I actually got a strike. So I got a strike. So if you get 3 strikes, your channel gets deleted forever. So I already got the warning and I already got the strike. So, but after 90 days, or maybe it's either 90 or 120 days, the strike goes away. So then I'll just be back to just a warning. So after that, I think I'm going to finish the last part of the Fall of the Cabal and then do some other conspiracy, like some longer form debunk conspiracy stuff. But the problem is now is anytime I upload a video like that, the Q people immediately flag it. And then I got to fight with YouTube. And, you know, if I get 2 more strikes, which, you know, if I uploaded 2 videos and they striked it, then I get my channel deleted forever. And there's no guarantee you get it back. You know what I mean? Because I appealed, like, literally every video I've made about Q that was long form like that has been flagged and taken down at least at some point. And I've been able to get some back up and others I wasn't able to. That's why I have the warning and the strike, which is really stupid because they're all the same. Me fact checking and explaining how her videos are wrong. Like, they're literally all the same, but 2 won the appeal and 2 didn't. You know what I mean? And then another one I took down just to be on the safe side. But yeah, so I'm just playing it like cautious on uploading that stuff until the strike subsides, and then I'll probably finish it. Is my plan anyway. Do you think Biden will encourage the states to shut down because of numbers of COVID? I know he's going to issue a mask mandate, but that's only on federal property. So I don't know if, I mean, I don't think he's going to, I think he's honestly more worried about opening back up and putting all the focus on the vaccine. Like, he wants to, you know, mad rush a lot of money and effort and time into the vaccine, which obviously should be a number 1 priority. You know, clearly. So I think I haven't heard anything about him pushing for lockdowns or anything like that. Definitely the mask mandate and then vaccine rollout seems to be the main things he's pushing. You get strikes for debunking the BS. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I had to fight with YouTube for like 2 months. I know at one point I had 2 strikes. So 1 more strike, I would have got my channel deleted. Well, what I consider successful is that we're back out living. I will consider Biden's COVID strategy a success if by the fall we're out back living our, you know, normal lives. Maybe still wearing masks and stuff, but by October, I want to be able to go to like a concert and go out to dinner and not have to worry. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would consider a success. Do those videos on other platforms like Rough or do you just short video on YT announcing them? I was gonna upload my stuff to Vimeo, but like you gotta pay like a ridiculous amount of money to upload long videos, and like the Fall of the Cabal videos are like 40 minutes. So I had to pay like, I think it was like $70 a month to upload content that long. Like it was a ridiculous amount of money. But all the videos are available. Like 2 of them are on Twitch, and that's kind of like that's when I kind of started moving to Twitch. But I got 2 of them. They're up here on Twitch. Like if you go through the highlights, but the other 2 are still up. Well, 3 are up because I got the Isaac Cappy one, and then 2 Fall of the Cabal videos. And then I also have a pandemic debunk video too. Rockfin? I've never even heard of that. Yeah, I like Twitch's platform. Like it's easier to monetize. But the discoverability is shit. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to build on other platforms and then go on to Twitch. You know what I mean? Like the discoverability on Twitch is just shit. But the platform itself, I like. Like I like how the subscriber system sets up. Like the monetization on you. Like I've never had a video. I basically can't monetize any of the content on YouTube. You know what I mean? I've never made $1 off of YouTube content ever, just because they have so many rules and shit. But Twitch, you can have people support you directly. You get like obviously it's not much because I don't have many followers over there, but you get they give you, once you make affiliate, which is just like 9 viewers concurrently, or 8 or 9 viewers, you can get media share or whatever. Oh, sweet. My pandemic video. Dude, that's one of the, I see that one quoted a lot by people. That one did a lot of damage to the world. Dude, I've heard COVID or Ticketmaster might require proof of COVID vaccine to attend in person. Sadly, the virus has spun out so badly. Yeah, no, I mean, well, I think the vaccine should be pushed hard, and I think the more than the vaccine being pushed hard, good information about the vaccine should be pushed very hard, and that's why I'm glad one of the people that Biden nominated, I don't remember which agency it was, there's so many damn ones, but said she was going to look into QAnon and like assess the threat level of it. But I think even more than that, they need to have some kind of like commission on misinformation. Like I think we need to study more about how misinformation spreads, because it's still like this, how misinformation or disinformation, whatever one you want to call it, how disinformation spreads on the internet is still a relatively new field. And there's people that, know a lot about it, but I think it needs to be studied more, and we need to figure out ways we can, combat it. And I think there needs to be like some kind of commission on that, because it's a very serious problem. It's not just like some joke on the internet anymore. Like it literally led to an attack on our Capitol. Like it really don't get much more serious than that. 5 people died, and we could have had mass casualties inside the Senate chamber. I mean, how we've had commissions over way less. Well, but see, you got to be careful making stuff illegal, because like, what if you spread something not on purpose? You know what I mean? Like it's hard, and then trying to prove if someone's doing it on purpose or not, that's tough. But like really the best the best thing to do is have good information, and honestly, it's how the algorithm pushes it. Like the other day, I made a video about the people spreading martial law conspiracies, and the video that I stitched had like 90,000 likes. So that got pushed in the algorithm because people engaged with it. Like I don't know, I don't know enough about tech to know how they could guard against that, but I think certain hashtags like martial law, you should maybe, I don't know, review the content before you push it in the algorithm like that. There's a lot of disinformation about the vaccines. I actually researched, and bro, it's just the norm. Alex Jones is spreading a lot of disinformation about the vaccines, about people dying in Australia and shit. Actually, I went over it on stream one time. His podcast with Tim Pool. The full of it on there, and then do a short YT video where you link the full one description. Something. Yeah, well, I have yeah, no, well, I was thinking about maybe uploading something and then like to a different platform, like one of those right-wing platforms, and then just streaming it on Twitch, like streaming my own video. That's what I did with the Fall of the Cabal parts. But like honest, at this point, like the YT strike is almost up. And you get more traffic from it that way. You know what I mean? Like anybody that follows me on Twitch is most likely already seen my I don't, most of the followers I gain are from YT and TikTok, and so if they're already on Twitch, like they already know my content. You know what I mean? But I think by the time, where are they all going? Let's check in on this.
Of the ceremony, but the main business has been done. We have a new president safely sworn in as we watch these live pictures from inside the
They're all
United
going to
States
the military
Capitol.
tribunals.
Yep, absolutely. And this is exactly what National Guard
There's our prez.
leaders, generals were saying would happen. They were convinced that the security perimeters and parameters in place were going to ensure that there was a very safe process today. 25,000 National Guard troops, thousands of local, state, and federal officers on the ground here as well. We can tell you that there have been a couple of minor groups of individuals, like 100 people or less, on each side of the mall, not a lot, who came here to voice either support for the inauguration or opposition for the inauguration, but peaceful and really not a big scene. One concern has been that, a lot of the shop owners in D.C. who make their money off of tourism.
I'd love to see you debate a QAnon chat or Karen. I mean, well, it wouldn't really be a debate. It would be me trying to talk them off the ledge and explaining why everything they believe is wrong.
Anticipating that they would still be able to sell off their wares, but instead all the streets have been locked down. So now all of these folks who deal in these types of trinkets, they
I offered a
get rid of them. That's a concern.
Hold that thought. We want to watch Tom. We're sorry to hold that thought. We want to watch this gift ceremony taking place in the rotunda.
By those traditions, usually there's a painting at the front of that event that the chairman picks. This time, not knowing we were going to have an event until what we were going to do about an event until late, I asked Dr. Biden to help pick the painting, and this is the one that she recommended. The painting is landscape with rainbow. Rainbow, always a good sign. It's loaned to us for today from the
checking out the
Smithsonian
martial
American
law
Art
hashtag.
Museum.
Hold on
The
TikTok.
artist, Dr. Robert Sheldon Duncanson, he was the best-known African-American painter in the years surrounding the Civil War. He was based in Cincinnati, encouraged by abolitionists who, among other things, sponsored a trip for him to do some study in Europe. This is a painting that he painted in 1859, and I think maybe it's sort of the classic America as a paradise painting that a lot of painters were doing then. But for him, a black artist.
Okay, I don't. So a couple people mentioned this on Twitter, but I didn't even really realize that President Trump or President Biden snubbed. Sounds good to say. President Biden snubbed Trump. He didn't mention him in the speech. I didn't even realize that at first. Okay, let's pop off that. I'm a little red. It's like really hot in my office. I don't know why. Assuming my sister turned the heat up for some fucking reason. Because we live in Minnesota and it's fucking cold as shit. But I'm not gonna go fix it right now. But so I figure we check out some martial law hashtags. What were we talking about? They should allow political propaganda on Facebook. In my opinion, right or left, sick of people posting things out of context. No follow-up arguments back. Yeah, true. I mean, like, you gotta. I don't. There's got to be a way. Like, I don't want people to be handcuffed on what they can totally say, but there's got to be a way not to, like push it so much. And the problem with algorithms like Facebook is once you start posting stuff, it shows you more of that same stuff. So that's where the problem comes in. And then all the Facebook groups and everything, like that's where the issue comes in.
Well, folks.
Okay.
Looks like you may have just about done it. I just read that President Trump might be invoking the Insurrection Act. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically martial law without declaring martial law. If you don't know what martial law is,
go ask a guy named
that's
Marshall.
American troops. That's the 101st Airborne Division, 82nd Airborne Division, Special Forces, Army Rangers, on American streets, policing American streets. You don't want that. I've been a part of that. And you don't want it on American streets. Because you throw rocks
Tommy
and
did get his
bottles
haircut,
and shit like that at them, they will
not so
fuck
scruffy
you up.
anymore.
Without question, they will fuck you up. Not sure what the rules of engagement will be, but they ain't going to put up with it long.
Attack all liberals at all time.
You might just want to get your lazy asses back home. Quit tearing shit up. Quit bothering hard-working folks. Well, folks, looks like you made...
Let's see what else. Oh, no. Hold on.
Well, folks, looks like you may have just about done it.
Let's check martial law.
First 2 years, 3 years of martial law.
That one's old as shit.
Reporting live on Hollywood Boulevard.
January video especially.
Okay.
So a little while ago, Trump sent out a tweet that said, my followers will have a giant voice going into the future. They won't be disrespected or treated unfairly. A couple things to note, though, that giant voice was in capital letters. And he didn't use the words big voice. He didn't use his favorite word, huge. Huge voice. It's going to be huge. The best voice ever. Nah, he didn't do that. He said giant voice. Guess what the name of the military broadcast system is? The emergency military broadcast located up on a Space Force satellite. Giant voice.
What the fuck?
They're cutting him off of Twitter. They're cutting him off of Facebook. Cutting him off everywhere.
He's using satellites in the sky.
Can't cut him off of space.
I mean, he's got a point.
There's going to be law, martial law. So a little while ago,
remember
Trump
that,
sent out a
guys.
tweet that said,
you could take my Twitter, but you can't take my space.
But we'll see. Someone is now driving the fuck down the road.
The state refuses to take the act.
Oh.
Is this...
They really thought the emergency broadcast system was going to have something to do with it. So, if you guys see anything juicy, link it in the chat. I'll check it out. Just kind of, I'm just winging it at this point. I don't really have, we're just kind of going with the flow, hanging out, enjoying the new presidential let's check out see what's going on Telegram. By the way, while y'all are here, if you could like the stream, much appreciate it. And also, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like the stream. Also, if you could follow me on Twitch, that'd be really awesome. If you want to support me, you can support me on Twitch by subscribing. That'd be awesome. All that stuff is linked down in the description on both. If you go to the About section on Twitch, it's in the panels, or you can go into the description on YouTube, whichever one you're on. Let's see what we're talking about here. These message boards are blowing up. Okay, oh no. Let's see what we got here. Draining the swamp, LOL, takes a monumental plan. Watch the movie, The Sting. Lots of plans, subplot. You know, that's what I hate. Like these people from getting, so pilled on Q. They all talk in these freaking codes now. And it's exhausting. Like this. Like this guy thinks he's like Q Jr. or something. You have to make sure that the target thinks they are in control. And they can get away with it. Ambush. For sure. That was literally 2 minutes ago. Trump had to walk away. This makes him impossible to blame for the military acts. Okay. I was expecting a military coup. I hate it when I don't get my military coup in the morning. They have ended the Trump whatever. The football was handed over to China Joe. It's on video. When does this game end exactly? I mean, they were all... Where is this from? Trump has the White House surrounded by the military. He's playing... Where's that come? I hate how these stupid messages work. You can only read half of it. I need to look into... I mean, we're all right there and nothing. So when we are forced to wear masks and take a vaccine that kills us, we won't have an option. So when? Imagine being so privileged that this is the worst thing in your life. Like, I'll admit, like, okay, things are fine. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, bitching about this. Like, this being what you were upset about. You have to allow, yeah, exactly. You have to allow voices that contradict. You have to allow a free marketplace of ideas, and you have to allow for people to, say what they want to say. I'm pretty pro free. Like, honestly, until like a year ago, I was pretty much a free speech absolutist. Like I, believe that, no matter what they say, they should be allowed to say it. Even on like Twitter and stuff, even stuff like, Twitter shouldn't ban the Q people. But now I've kind of like, shifted that a little bit. And I believe Twitter should ban the Q, like the people pushing Q the hardest, like the people grifting off of Q, those people should be banned. Like Joe Blow, who is just kind of like in it for the memes and like isn't really pushing it, but is kind of buying into it. And maybe retweeting some stuff. Like, don't ban that guy, because that guy is just going to go to Telegram and he's going to get red pilled even harder. Because they really believe, like they truly believe one of their main narratives is that the more that they get pushed back from the mainstream, the more that the plan is working. Like they believe the more pushback, the more the plan is working. So that almost reinforces them a little bit. The more they get banned, like that. If you go to my YouTube, to my Fall of the Cabal series, and you go in the comment section, that is the number one comment I get is, "Oh, well, if it was fake, why did they pull it down?" I'm like, well, that is just completely flawed logic, ma'am and or miss or sir. Partner, friend. That's not how it works. I'm like, 2 of my videos got pulled down. Does that mean I'm right? Like, it does. That's not how it works. But they truly believe. They're like, oh, well, if it was fake, why would they pull it down? And oh, if our movement was just a bunch of crazy people, why would they kick us off of this and that? You know what I mean? So there's got to be, I don't like I said, it needs to, and I don't know if I have the right answer, but I don't think we've looked into it enough. And I think it's such a new thing. Like, conspiracies have always been around, yes, but conspiratorial thinking and groups being red pilled on social media and growing into larger movements and becoming actual like terrorist groups is a pretty new thing that needs a lot more. We need to study it a lot more. Yeah. So we can actually know how to combat it. Biden was sworn in before noon. Trump was still president. He is looking for meaning in meaningless things. Guys, Biden is president. True. God wins. Oh, they thought Eric Trump's speech was somehow a signal today. We got here. Ask yourself the question, would POTUS 45 really leave everyone hanging, knowing what he knows and having himself lifted off the White House grounds by in M1 at 8:17, then to hop over and speak in front of 17 flags this morning? You know he does that 17 flag thing on purpose. He has to. It's counterintuitive. I know, but it's the only way to think, to make people see he'll be back. He'll be back as himself. He'll be back as he himself. Oh, he'll be back as he himself said. The writing's so small, man. I believe that. There's nothing wrong if you don't just know the best is yet to come. So we got a Q drop here. Was there a plan in place after Trump? Q, yes. Oh, that's from December 12th, 18. Oh, they'll be combing over that one for a while. Anyway. All right. Well, shit. So what do y'all think? Mm-hmm. Do. Hold the original poster accountable. Repeated misinformation. Silence them. Like I think yeah. I don't know. The whole misinformation on social media thing is a field that we definitely need to look into more. Have you seen anyone realizing it's bull? A little bit. That's what I'm saying. Like if you have a friend or family member that is involved in QAnon, today might be the day to pull them out. But like I'll tell you right now, like I know we all like to make fun of it and mock it a little bit, but you're never going to pull anybody out of a QAnon conspiracy hole by like mocking and making fun of them. But like today is a day like when there's actually people thinking, oh, hey, maybe this is all bullshit. Like, to go back to my Twitter sources. See what the latest is. Like this is Utah. Let's see what he's got to say. Patriots, I don't know where the D class is. Patriots, I don't know where the D class it is. I don't know when the arrests are coming. I can't answer those Qs for you. What I do know is Q is factual and part of Trump team. What I do know is that there's our 200,000 sealed indictments. What I do know is there are more than enough proof Q is real, not a LARP. If you don't want to hear it anymore and am sick of Trump, Q, hit the red leave button at the bottom, or pray and ask God for guidance and buckle up and stand up for your country. No one enjoyed watching Biden getting sworn in today. However, Trump has said the best is yet to come. I'm not giving up hope. I'm not giving up hope. Hope you're not either. However, the choice is yours. Have a good rest of the day. Please leave if you don't want to be here. That's Qtah. He's one of the big QAnon larpers. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna have a split. Like, this guy, he makes a ton of money off of preaching QAnon bullshit. So of course he's not giving up the grift. But clearly, from what he's posting there, he's getting a lot of pushback today. So if you have a friend or a family member, maybe it's time to be like, hey, and I posted in my Discord, because somebody was asking me about it last night. I posted like several good sources about like how to talk people out of like cults and stuff like that. I'll look at them real quick. I put it in the your QAnon experience room. I got how to talk to people that's stuck in a conspiracy hellscape, how to talk to people about conspiracy theories and still be kind, how to talk someone out of a damaging cult, and another guy, how I thought Hillary Clinton and Lady Gaga ate babies. Now I want to help people. So yeah, and these are like several like, good sources, and it might help, it might not. But I mean, there's definitely a chance for people to realize the grift. Q people probably view today as a minor setback until Trump is still and Trump is still working behind the scenes. Yeah, no, most definitely. This is going to be the overwhelming narrative. This is a minor setback. The plan has changed. Trump had to get out of office so the global elites could enact their crimes against humanity, because Trump has to have the full proof. Because remember, the basic overall narrative is that this all just takes place on they only need like one event. Like the one storm just happens all at once. It's a simultaneous roundup of all the elites. It's not like it's some big, long, structured plan. Like everything they're doing, everything they're building is for like that perfect setup. And then bam, they swoop in, arrest George Soros, save all the babies from Haiti in the underground tunnels, military tribunals, executions. It all happens real quick, fast, and in a hurry. So, it's not hard. When you're only looking for one event, it's able to keep people on the grift. For anyone who thought QAnon was done, we already have our first countdown of the Biden administration. Let's see what we got here. I don't know what that's talking about. Let's see. So far, no mass exodus from any Q channels I follow on Telegram. In fact, an account purporting to be Lynn Wood of Kraken fame has added roughly 30,000 followers since last night. So Lynn Wood has gained 30,000 followers, and an account claiming to be Sidney Powell has added roughly 8,000. One of the Q newsletters I get, the one whose logo looks like a noose, is really muted and resigned calling Biden's inauguration, and is even giving a link to where you can watch it. Oh, well, that's a step in the right direction. What? What happened? Somebody fainted? Let's see what Joe M's a big influencer. See what he's got to say. A majority of freedom-loving Americans just watch their country get stolen by radical communists in real time. The same satanic ideologies responsible for the deaths of 100 million people in the past century just wiped away our Constitution and completed a Bolshevik revolution using their tried and tested playbook of street violence, fraud, censorship, and mass brainwashing. This is the same majority of freedom-loving, patriotic Americans, civilian and military, swore an oath of allegiance to this very Constitution they just watched be criminally subverted. Do you honestly think they're going to lie down and let it happen? I don't. not for one little bit. If we don't do, if we do, we don't deserve the blood shed we don't deserve the blood shed by our forefathers, by our founding fathers, by our founders. Why? I don't know why I read another word there. Shed by our founders. We don't deserve freedom. My faith is not in Q or the plan. My faith is in the red-blooded, proud, and tenacious Americans and everything that we have always stood for, no matter how dark today may feel. That faith is unbreakable. Now, again, that guy the other day was saying if the inauguration goes through, Q is all fake. But again, these are like the big QAnon influencers. Like that guy is making a ton of money off the Q grift. So of course he's not going to, it's the underlings that are going to lose faith. More indictments for the Capitol rioters. Jones Middle Supreme. Yeah, Len Woods gained a bunch of followers. Anyway. But yeah, I don't know. We officially have a new president. No military coup, no tribunals, no roundup, nothing. Everything went off without a hitch. If anybody subscribed or followed while I was live, with this setup, I don't have alerts like this. Usually when it's just me, I stream with Streamlabs. And I was supposed to have a guest on today, but it was real last minute. So, because I wasn't going to stream until last night, but they had to work last minute. So that's why I use this restream setup, because I can have guests a lot easier. But I don't. What was I? Oh yeah. But yeah. So anybody who subscribed or donated or anything, I much appreciated. But I just don't have alerts on this setup, so I can't know if anybody did that. Yeah. Before I go, any other topics we should go over? Yeah. Any other topics to cover? Since we it's official now. And by the way, if you guys want all the links to all my stuff is in the description. If you're on YouTube, my social medias are in the description. Join the Discord. Like I said, there's a room where I put a bunch of good stuff about Q. You can share your stories about Q. If you want to subscribe to me on Twitch, the Twitch link is in the bio. Same thing on Twitch. All my stuff is in the about panels. So do these angry Q people become independents now? The backlash is delicious, but it's mind-boggling. Where do you see the Republican Party in 2 months? Honestly, I see it fracturing. I think I've heard a lot of talk of a Patriot Party, and I see that as a real reality, because honestly, I think the mainstream Republican Party is going to try and distance themselves from the conspiratorial wing. Otherwise, the money's going to dry up, and all the grassroots money is with the conspiratorial side. You know what I mean? Like, the Republican Party has to get money from the elites. The elites aren't going to do business with the conspiratorial right. They've made that very clear since the insurrection. Like, they were fine to do it before that, but now there's it's bad for their bottom dollar. You know what I mean? Merch, no merch. My sister did make me a pretty sweet sweater that has my logo on it, but no merch yet. I figure once I hit like 5K subs or something on 5K subs on YouTube, I'll start making merch, maybe, like because I want it to be good, you know what I mean? And like I know there's some of you guys that really enjoy my content and support me, and it's super awesome, by the way. Thank you guys so much, because literally there's the same people in every stream, and man, I appreciate it so fucking much. You have no idea, the same group of you guys, and Gabby, I know you're in a different time zone, but you support me on Patreon, and that is so awesome. genuinely thank you guys so much. But like, yeah, you know, I want to wait a little bit before I do merch or anything. Just, you know, because I want it to be good, and obviously, like, I don't want to put, I don't have like a shit ton of time to put a lot of effort into it yet. But we'll get there eventually. A couple more months, maybe. But yeah, no, I see the Republican Party fracturing, and it's gonna. I could see they've talked about the Patriot Party, and I could even see Trump doing that as like an FU to the Republican Party that turned his back on him. Like, I see that more than like I see that almost as plausible as Trump starting his own media company, like him literally starting his own party. Like, I think that is very possible, because like there's something's got to give. Like, they went all in on Trump, and they played footsie with the conspiratorial right for years now at this point, and now it's starting to hurt their bottom line. Like, the Republican Party, literally not a single person doesn't take corporate PAC money that's in Congress or in the Senate on the right. Like, they have to have that corporate money, and that's dried up now, so they're going to have to do something about it. And I think we could potentially see a party split. And honestly, if Biden does just a couple decent things, we're going to have, he's going to have a booming economy. We're going to be back from the virus. We're going to be, people have checks in their pockets, and they'll remember who gave it to them. You know, we'll have, if we get back to some normalcy, and just like the you know, most people aren't that big into politics. They want to go to brunch, you know, they want to be left alone. And I think if Biden does a couple things right and a couple things break his way, he could have a very high approval rating. The map looks favorable for 2022, especially in the Senate. So I think, you know, he's just got to do a couple things. Now, if he does, he could go the other way and not really do much. And then, you know, who knows? But your content is amazing. Found your videos after some of my life sent me Fall of the Cabal. Oh, thanks, Amy. I appreciate that. Doing God's work. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. I try. Hopefully we can continue to do some good work and pull people out of the rabbit hole. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. I think thanks everybody for coming. Links to everything in the description. And yeah, I will see y'all next time. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe stream tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. Try to get a couple TikTok videos out today about, I don't know, shit going on. New theories. I'll scroll the keyboards for a while, see what I can find. But yeah, thank you guys so much, man. We made it. New presidency. Now let's try to get some good stuff enacted, get some people in some money, get some people in money's pockets, get some money in people's pockets. And yeah. All right. Anyway, peace out, y'all. Have a good day.